I've power rated every single Power 4 conference in college football. So now I'm going to do the G6. We're going to start off with the Pac-12. Drop a follow and let's get into it. For last in the Pac-12, I have Utah State. Look, they were 6-7 a year ago in the Mountain West. The team just does not look incredibly talented. They have 29 new players coming in, and they really went the FCS route with the transfer portal. Get guys that performed well at the FCS and then bring them up, which I don't hate that strategy. But when you look at some of the guys that Utah State got, they got a standout outside linebacker from St. Thomas. I watched St. Thomas last year. The team did not have G6 level players on it. They just didn't. They're not athletic enough. Same thing with some of those other transfers like the guy from Elon. I just don't think they're going to be good enough athletes to be competitive in the Pac-12. At 7, I have Texas State. This team was 7-6 a year ago in a much weaker Sun Belt. Now they're going to go to the Pac-12 where the competition will be much tougher. With that being said, they do interest me because their dual threat quarterback is elite. He can run the ball at a really high level. He can layer the pass at a fairly high level too. Bo Sparks is also a very good wide receiver. My biggest worry is kind of how good will they be compared to the rest of this conference in the trenches? And then how good will that defense be? My answer to both those is I don't think they'll necessarily be too good. And that will cause them to be a team that loses some one-score games and just cannot beat the upper echelon of this conference. I got Texas State at 7. At 6, I have Colorado State. Jim Moore is now the coach. He had tons of success at UConn and really built them from the ground up. And he's going to have to do it again at Colorado State. This team was 2-10 last year. They're bringing in 38 new players, 18 of which came from UConn. And here's what I have to say. I've been told so many times, if Colorado State has a good coach, it is a program that is a sleeping giant in the G6. But they've not had good coaching. I don't know how great Jim Moore is going to be, but I don't think this first year in a harder conference will go incredibly well. But only time will tell, and Colorado State as a program certainly has upside. I got Washington State at 5, and here's my thing about Washington State. They have been the most unstable program in all of college football. They don't know what conference they're going to be in. They don't know who their coach is. They don't know who their offensive coordinator is, their quarterback. You can go down the list, and the turnover has been unbelievable. Jimmy Rogers looked like he could have been potentially building something good, and then he leaves instantly for Iowa State. That's my worry. I don't think the people in this building have been around long enough. I don't think the foundation's solid enough. For that reason, Washington State does not have like some game wreckers on it that I think could just go out and win football games. I think it's going to be a slower rebuild, but I think Kirby Moore could be the guy for the job. With that being said, I got him at 5. If y'all are new here, drop follows, leave likes, and let me know what you guys think. Part 2 is coming tomorrow.